All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us again on the Power Hour every Tuesday at 2 o'clock that I'm in the at the office. And I'm excited about what I have to share with you today. Hope everybody's doing well. Most of you probably know I live in Sarasota, and this past week we had quite an event with the hurricane, and so it was quite interesting. So everything with my uh, house and my property and my rental house, everything is good. There are a lot of people that suffered major damage, especially along the water. And so, yeah, continued prayer and support for all of the people that have lost so much during this hurricane season. It seems like this year was just one after another. We had the big flood that happened in Pinecrafts about 3 or 4 months ago, and then we had Helena. Basically, 2 weeks before this past week, we had Hurricane Milton, and it took a direct hit right to Sarasota. My house was dead in the middle of the eye of the storm. I got to experience that. That was kind of cool. In a weird way. Please understand what I'm trying to say. I wish that upon nobody, but it was cool to have that experience of being in utter chaos, and the next 2 minutes, utter calmness, not a leaf moving for about 40 to 45 minutes. And then it started back up with just a tremendous amount of chaos and wind. And it was actually worse the second half than the first half. But yeah, so thanks for your support and prayers as we kind of dig out of Sarasota. There's a lot of tree damage, not on my property. Again, everything is good with my properties, and but there's a lot of people that are suffering, and so continue praying for them. And there's been already people from Lancaster, I mean, all over the country coming in and helping with cleanup, and we really, really appreciate all of the support that we've got. All right, so I want to go ahead and I want to introduce to you the topic that I'm going to be sharing. There's 6 systems that is needed for business success. Now, I'm going to tell you that those 6 systems are in my very first book, Freedom to Succeed. So if you haven't gotten this book, I wrote it in, let's see, when was this thing published? Let's check. I'm trying to remember what year it was. 2016, December of 2016, this book came out. I sold, I don't even know how many copies. I didn't keep track of it, but just a lot of copies. And if you haven't read this book, Freedom to Succeed, and the subtitle is The Diamond Mindset and 6 Systems Needed for Business Success. So there are 6 major systems that you need to have in your business so that your business can operate at its full capacity. Now, I know none of you ever started your own business with the idea of, I can't wait until my business makes a slave out of me. Right? You didn't start a business so that you could be consumed day in and day out by your business. You started a business with the mindset of, wow, I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to be able to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. And you are working, and it's working for you. And it's great. How many of you can honestly say that that's the case? That your business, that you're not a slave to your business. Now, I hope some of you, I don't know who all's on, but thanks guys for coming on the phone calls, the phone lines, and the YouTube and Facebook and Zoom as well. So thanks for coming on. But how many of you can honestly say that you have freedom in your business where you can, maybe start another business or spend time with your family and friends? So my mission here at Empowering Small Business, the name of my company, is to help business owners find freedom so they can spend more time with their family and friends. That's my mission. That's what I do. That's why I do what I do. So you can spend more time with your family and friends, because I believe that's more important than your business. Your business is not your purpose. I can guarantee you that. Your business, y'all need to write this down. Your business is not your purpose. Your business is the vehicle that should allow you to work your purpose, to be in your purpose. Because I think all of us would agree that we're created for a specific reason. We're put on this earth for a specific reason. And I can promise you, your business is not that purpose. It might be part of it, but if you look at your business as this is the vehicle that's going to give me the freedom to do my purpose. And so it should beg a question. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? Why are you here? Why are you created and put on planet Earth, and you are here right now in 2024, October, and you have a purpose? What is that purpose? You should always be looking for that purpose. And I have a whole talk that I do on purpose, and I think it's important that we're always in a posture of wanting to find that purpose. I don't think you will ever find your definitive purpose, the reason God put you here. I think you can know a lot about it, but to say I know it in totality, I believe is arrogant and puts you at the same level of God. I think we should always be in a posture of, God, show me what you want me to do. Show me who you want me to serve. Show me how you want me to serve them. And that is the posture of purpose. I want you to find that posture of purpose and walk in it every day and search for just a little bit more of it, because I believe God has so much in store for you. Anyway, my talk is not about purpose. My talk is to help you to understand the 6, not 7, but 6 business systems that you need to implement into your business. And I've been coaching on these systems for almost 12, 13 years now, and have had hundreds of clients implement these systems and had great success with the systems. And so I actually developed a business assessment, and I'm gonna give it to you for free, but you have to do something. Is that free? I'm gonna give it to you for free, but you have to do something. It's still free. You have to call my office, 813-580-8920. It's up on the screen now if you're watching on Facebook, 813-580-8920, and just simply ask for my office to send you the business assessment free of charge. Or you can buy the book, and it's in the back of the book. Okay, you can. It's in the very back pages of the book. And so what we did is we took these 6 systems and we asked you 10 questions on each of the systems. So system number 1 is marketing. And so we ask you 10 questions about marketing in your business and give you an opportunity to assess your business on that. And so therefore we have 60 different subsystems that we actually help our clients implement into their business. Now, there's going to be some of you that, just some of these systems will not apply to your business. So we would find out which one of those would, and we would help you implement all of them that apply to you. So we have 6 pillars. I call them the 6 pillar systems, and they are marketing, sales, operations, office, leadership, and relationships. Again, I'll give them down. I want you to write these things down. Marketing, number 1, nothing happens. You'll never make a sale in your business until you have first done some kind of marketing. You have, if you want to catch a fish, you have to put a lure in the water, right? You can't expect to walk past a pond and the fish just jump into your basket. No, you have to market. You have to do something, and word of mouth is doing something. There's so many different ways to market, but that's the first system that we would talk about is marketing. And then you can't have a sale unless you've marketed. And so when you are fishing, you once you have a bite on your line, you're not really fishing anymore. You're catching, you're converting that interested fish into your basket. And so therefore your strategy changes from marketing to sales. And so we have sales as the second pillar. And then we have procedures. That's everything that happens in your shop and out on the job. It's everything that you do in your business. And I see my buddy Eric Swanson is on. How you doing, buddy? Marketing, that's what it's all about. Anyway, so we have marketing, we have sales, we have procedures, and then we have office and tracking. It's everything you do in your administration to track everything, your accounting, your sales closing, and all of that rate. All of that is done in the office and tracking part of the system. And then you have relationships, and every business has relationships. You have relationships with your vendors, you have relationships with your clients, you have relationships with your managers, you have relationship with your community, you have relationships with your industry. So we're going to teach you and coach you and give you some systems on relationships. And then the last pillar that we have in the book is leadership. John Maxwell says everything. Now, how much is everything? Everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything rises and falls. You can't have the best marketing if you have poor leadership. You can't have great sales if you have poor leadership. You can't have great procedures if you don't have great leadership. You gotta have great leadership. You got to. It's so important. And so those are the 6 major pillars that we talk about, and that all of our coaching programs that we have is centered around those 6 pillars. And then we have 10 different systems that we implement under each one of those 6. So in essence, there's 60 systems that we can help you implement in your business. And I can guarantee you, if you implement them, you will have business success. You will have some of the freedom that you signed up for when you started your business. See, some of us, we try to start too many businesses before we have freedom. An oak tree never comes out of the ground with 14 branches. It comes out with one trunk, and it gains massive credibility before it spreads its branches. You got to have credibility. You got to know what you're doing. And sometimes we try to start too many things too quickly without having the credibility, the integrity in business, the strength in business to support different ventures. And so when you take the business assessment, we walk you through it. And when you join our coaching programs, we actually walk you through each one of those 60 steps, and you get to decide which one you want to implement, and then we'll teach you how to implement them. So it's a very, very powerful program, the 6 systems, and you can read all about it in my book. Okay. There's another book that I really want y'all to get. It's not my book, but it's my friend Michael E. Gerber, and the book is The E-Myth Revisited. I want y'all to write this book down, The E-Myth Revisited. So you should get Freedom to Succeed, and then you should also get the E-Myth Revisited and read both of them, because it's chock full of great business advice. And so the way you can get the business assessment one more time is by calling the number 813-580-8920, and we will send you a free business assessment. But you can also buy the book, and we get the assessment in here with all the questions as well. All right. So let's get into just a little bit of marketing. And I want to just kind of go through some of the systems that we talk about. And I'm just going to pick one out of marketing. And so the first question in the assessment says or asks this, I know the company's position in the marketplace and our unique strengths. Okay. So what do I mean by the company's position in the marketplace? Let's say that you own a retail furniture outlet or a furniture store or whatever, just a retail place. And I'm sure you're not the only one in the world that has that kind of store. There's probably another store in your town that sells some of the same things or very similar. So it's impossible for you to be the only one in your industry. And so your marketplace. So when I ask you to think of a soft drink, which one do you think of? Most people will just automatically say Coke, Coca-Cola. If I ask you to think of a fast food restaurant, most of you will think McDonald's. If I ask you to think of laundry detergent, most of you will think Tide. How am I doing so far? All right. So that's because they have a position in the marketplace of your mind. So when people open up the file cabinet of their mind of people that do what you do, are you the first one that pops up, or is your competitors popping up first in their mind, or even on the internet, the ranking, all of that? So it's the customer, the marketplace determines what your position is by your marketing. Okay, so I know McDonald's probably has the position of number one fast food restaurant in your mind. When I say fast food restaurants, you probably think McDonald's. Wouldn't it be cool if the marketplace that you serve would think your company first when they think about your industry? Wouldn't it be cool if you had a coffee, and if I'd say coffee, they wouldn't think Starbucks, they would think your brand? Wouldn't that be cool? Well, it can be if the marketing is done properly. Okay, so that's what I mean by I know the company's position in the marketplace and our unique strengths. So in one of my companies, we have a cleaning company. It's a cleaning company, a high-end residential cleaning company, and I know that we are number one. We're positioned number one because we've been voted number one for over 15 years in a row by the Sarasota community. And that's because we did a tremendous amount of marketing, and we did it right. We had the marketing message. We strategized, and we implemented these 10 things that are under the pillar of marketing so that we achieve that number one position. And then the last part of the question, and our unique strengths. So what makes you unique? What makes you different? What makes your brand unique? If two companies are selling chairs, and the reason I'm in furniture, I used to sell furniture. If two companies sell chairs, what makes yours different than the other? And if you don't know that, shame on you. You should know what makes your company unique and what are the strengths. And so in the cleaning industry, we would say three things that make us stand out above all of our competitors. Number one, we send the same technician, same day, same time, every time. So consistency was one of the strengths. Number two, we have a 3-week training program that every one of our technicians go through before they ever step foot into your house. And number three, all of our products are tailor-made for our specific needs, and your pets and your kids don't have to worry about toxic chemicals in your living room or in your kitchen. And so those are the things that we would say over and over and over as we push our marketing message out there. So number one, do you know your company's position in the marketplace? And what is your unique strengths? What makes you stand out? Several years ago, I wrote a made up story about a guy that was walking on Siesta Key, and he looks down and he's just about ready to step on a sand dollar. I don't know if you guys from Ohio and Pennsylvania don't go to the beach. A sand dollar is a little seashell type thing, and they break easily, but they're kind of unique. There's not a whole lot of them out there. People collect them if they're dead. Some of them will actually take them while they're alive, which I don't recommend, but pour bleach over them, and it makes a beautiful white round thing with a design on it. It's really cool. And so he's walking along the beach and he sees this sand dollar and he picks it up, and wow, he's so happy that he has this sand dollar because they're very unique. But as he walks, he sees another one, and over here's another one, and he keeps walking and he realizes the beach is full of them. There's one bigger than the one he has in his hands. So he throws the one he has in his hands down and picks up the bigger one. And after a while, there's so many of them on the beach that it loses its uniqueness, and it loses its the excitability of it. And he notices something really, really shiny up ahead. And he keeps walking towards it, and he realizes as he gets closer that it is a sand dollar, but it's a gold-plated sand dollar. There's only one of them in the world like it. In the world of sand dollars, there's only one gold-plated sand dollar. And which do you think he kept? Which do you think he did business with? He did it with the one that is unique and knows their strengths. All right. So that was a made up story that I made up so that you can understand what we're talking about here when we go through that. So that's the number one in marketing. And by the way, guys, stay on till the very last, because I have a brand new product that I'm going to offer you, and it's a crazy good deal, and it has to do with what we're talking about. But I created a new program, and I want to give it an offer to you because it's a limited amount of space for this program. So stay tuned to the very end. I promise you, I'll let you off within an hour. So let's just pick one out of the sales pillar. Let's see, which one do I want to do? Here's the question. We track results from consistent efforts to upsell and downsell our products and services. So do you know what an upsell is? An upsell is when you go to McDonald's and you order a Big Mac and you say, I'd like to have a Big Mac. I can promise you that the person behind the microphone inside is going to say, would you like fries with that? And if you say yes, she'll say, do you want to supersize it? Or do you want a meal? In other words, they step you up. They step you up and they sell more. Here's what I want you to write down. I want you to write down, when the wallet is open, so is your mind. When the wallet is open, so is your mind. What do I mean by that? Well, here's the deal. I went to the car dealership and I was going to buy a sports car, but it was not going to be the top of the top of the top of that model. It was going to be the low end of that model. And I was starting to sign the papers, and we get to a point and the salesperson says, I had already committed to paying that price. And the salesperson just stopped and looked at me and said, for $2,500 more, you can get the GT2 version. And I'm like, what does that do? He said, well, it gives you more horsepower. And I said, for $2,500 more? And he says, yeah. I said, all right, let's do it. And he goes back to writing, and he's writing down the order, and he stops a little bit and he says, for $3,500 more, you can get, and I remember he kept and when I walked out of that place, I had the top of the top of the top of that model. It was crazy. When the wallet is open, when you're committed to the Big Mac, it's much easier to say, yeah, throw in the French fries, supersize it, make it a meal. When the wallet is open, so is the mind. And guys, if you're on Facebook right now, please share this, because I'm here to help you make more money faster by learning how to sell and how to upsell. So that's an upsell. When you let's say you own a grocery store and somebody comes with a bag of coffee. What are some items that you could think of that you could upsell or maybe suggest that that person buys, other than just walking out of the store with a bag of coffee? You say, hey, what about creamer? Do you need me to go get some creamer for you? What about sugar? What about coffee cups? What about coffee filters? What about a whole new coffee machine? What about donuts? What about everything that goes with coffee? Like, we need to become really, really good at upselling, because upselling is really important, and it's the easiest sale to make, because when the wallet is open, so is your mind. That's an upsell. A downsell is when somebody comes to your place of business and they say, man, I want to buy the biggest trailer or whatever you're selling is, the most expensive golf cart, the most expensive car, the most expensive whatever you're selling. And you tell them the price and their eyes get really big and they say, oh, that's way too expensive. And most of the time they'll walk out without ever buying from you because it's too high. But just the opposite of upselling, maybe you can say, well, you know what? We have a used model that we can sell for you for cheaper. That's the same model you're looking for. It's just not brand new. Or maybe instead of cleaning the whole house, maybe we could only do the rooms that you use the most. Maybe you don't need the outside of the windows cleaned today. Maybe we can do that next week. And so you downsell them to actually keep the sale or to save the sale. So you have an upsell and a downsell. And so if we were doing the assessment, I would ask you to rate yourself 1 to 10, 1 being very poor, 10 being, man, you're a master at upsells and downsales. All right. So that was the question in sales. Let's go to procedures. Let's see. Number 1, all company policies are in writing and every employee has a copy. All right. So your procedures, the how you do things. How do you make a chair? How do you sell a car? How do you build a shed? How do you do this? These are the company policies are in writing and the procedures. And so does every employee, are they trained properly? Do they have an employee handbook? Do they know what is expected? Do they know what they can get fired for? In one of my companies, we actually had a list of 10 things that you can do that will guarantee you to get fired on the spot. Do you think they did it? No, because we trained them and we taught them how not to do, and if they do it, what will happen. So clarity is kindness. Clarity is kindness. I want y'all to write this stuff down. Y'all should be taking mad notes right now because I'm on fire today. Y'all need to understand that clarity is kindness. To be super clear is to be super kind. I'll put a twist to it. To be unclear is to be unkind. You're not kind when you're vague. You're not kind when you don't set the expectations and expect responsibility and accountability. That's not kind to your people, to your customers, and to the people that you're working with. And so you need to make sure that your procedures and policies are in writing and that you have a training program. And I can tell you this, one of the biggest reasons business owners are not good at delegating is not because they're not good at delegating. It's because they don't have confidence that their employees know how to do it. So we better know how to train people to do their job and how to hold them accountable. And that in turn is one of the biggest things that will give you freedom so that you can do the things that you need to do, like spending time with your family and friends. All right. So let's go to the 4th pillar, office and tracking, and let's pick one. All right, here's one. I have a system in place to track the results of advertising and marketing efforts. Okay, let's say this. Let's say that you have a newspaper that you market your business in. You have a television spot that you market your business in, and you do Facebook and you do billboards. Let's say that you do those 4 marketing efforts. Okay. In the last 6 months, do you have something that can tell you that the billboard brought in 200,000, the Facebook brought in, 50,000, and the television brought in 65,000, and the newspaper brought in 10,000? Do you have anything like that in place where the advertising vehicle, how much that brought in within the last month or 6 months or 2 days or whatever? If you don't, here's what's happening. Very likely you're throwing money away. You're wasting money. You will probably, just say, well, I don't know. People probably read the newspaper. And so you double down and put more on the newspaper, and nobody's reading a newspaper. You got to know where that money is being brought back from. All right. And so we can teach you how to do that in our coaching program. So let's go to the number 5 pillar. This is relationships. And these questions have to do with all kinds of things. So this is the question. I utilize the DISC personality assessment and know each team member's style. Ooh, now you're speaking my language, because y'all know I'm the DISC guy, right? One of 10 in the world master trainers with DISC. And if you don't know what DISC is, it's one of the most original studies of personalities, and it helps you to hire the right people. Not only does it help you to hire the right people, but it helps you to manage them properly according to their personality type. And if you're a leader, you'll be able to adjust your leadership from person to person and make it seem like you're speaking their language, because personality is a language that's unique to every person. And so the question is, in your relationships, are you maximizing what you could be maximizing in your relationships with your employees, your customers, your vendors, by using the DISC model of human behavior? I could talk all day just on that subject right there. But let's go to the very last pillar, and that's the leadership pillar. All right. Oh, here's a good one. The organizational chart for the company is posted and reviewed annually or more often if the company is expanding and diversifying. Okay. Some of you might be asking, what's a organizational chart? I hope not, but I hope you know what that is. But you're the business owner, you have a manager below you, you have a general manager, and then you have project managers, and then you have the employees. Your company should be on a wall where people can see the flow of your information, see the flow of the positions within your company, to see who they answer to. It's one of the things that we do in our coaching, is we really help people to organize their business so that people know who to go to if there's a problem. And so that's one of the questions. There's 10 questions under each pillar. I hope I'm explaining it to you. So there's the marketing. There's all of the questions in the marketing pillar. And then here's all of the questions in the sales and the procedures right here. It's all right here in the book. And so if you call the number 813-580-8920, we're going to send that to you absolutely free. Or you can call us and order the book. We're not going to give the book free, but we're going to make sure that you get what you need. All right. So there's 6 systems: marketing, sales, procedures, office, relationships, and leadership. You got to have all of them. And what we do is we give you the assessment, and then you can see which one of those 6 you need the most help in. And then we start working in that area, and we try to make a symmetrical diamond. And I'll show you what that looks like when you put it all together. I don't know if y'all can see that. So we want a symmetrical diamond over here, wrong page, right here, right? And so take advantage of it. It's free, and I want you to have it. All right. So I promise you that I'm going to make an offer that I really want you guys to consider this, because this is a crazy offer. And when I say crazy, it's like, it's by far my lowest offer that I have as far as a program. Trust me, the ones that I have that are more expensive have way more value than what this is. But I'm calling this program the 3-month business fast track program, because I want you to get on track. I want you to be on track, because what happens when a train derails? There's a big mess. It's a catastrophe. And I want you to get on track, and I want you to get on track fast. And so what this program is, it's a 3-month program, and we call it the Business Fast Track Program. So it's kind of like you're going to the chiropractor and you are getting adjusted so that you can be back in alignment. Okay. So what we're going to do in this program, I'm going to walk you all the way through and tell you exactly what you're going to get with this program. The first and third Monday of the month for 3 months, anybody that buys this program will have a group call. You can do it by telephone or you can do it through Zoom. We'll give you all that information when you buy it. The first and third Monday of the month, we're going to go, the first call, we're going to go through all of the marketing and all of the sales on the diamond assessment that we just kind of went through. We're going to explain what I mean by every one of those 10 things. So we're going to go across 20 systems, the first group call. The third group call, we're going to go through 20 systems, 10 under procedures and office, 10 each. And then the last call, we're going to go through relationships and leadership. So we're going to go in depth through this book and help you to discover which one of the systems, which one of those 10 systems, and you can choose 5 of them. You can choose all 10 if you can, and implement those. And then we're going to make it happen. But not only do you get the group calls, you also are going to have a chance to get one-on-one with me. And you can ask any questions about the systems, but I will also coach you on 3 different things. And this is just me and you. This is not a group call. So this is 1 call per month, one-on-one with whoever buys this. So the first month, I'm going to coach you through what I call the FAPP principle, FAPP principle. It's the faith and fear. I talked about it a little bit about it last week, but I'm going to coach you through the whole thing and help you get on track with faith versus fear, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that could happen in a business, that could happen with the economy, that can happen with political things as well. So that's the first one-on-one coaching session, is the going deep into the FAPP principle, the FAP. I call it the FAP principle, faith versus fear. And how do you apply that to business, to things when things get tough? How do you move from fear up to faith? And how does that play out? So I'm going to coach you on that one-on-one. The second month, I'm going to coach you on the 4 levels of value. This model right here is one of the most valuable, life-changing models that I have ever seen in my life. When my mentor, Myron Golden, he's on my wall of gratitude, when he showed that to me, it changed the way I look at life and business, because it shows you where you need to spend more time than just actually working. You need to spend more time at the higher level of value. So I'm going to coach you on those 4 levels one-on-one, right? Because I want to be able to get specific with you, not talk generally with a group. The 3rd month is one of my favorite subjects. It's not DISC, but it's leadership. And I'm going to coach you through my Shift Your Leadership program. And I'm going to give you 5 actions of a serving leader. And we're going to specifically design it for you and how to implement it into your business. Okay. So you're going to get the 1st and 3rd Monday of every month for 3 months. You're going to get the group call where we go through the business assessment and the 60 systems that you need for your business. And then once a month for 3 months, you will get a one-on-one call with me. And we go through the FAPP principle, the 4 levels of value, and the Shift Your Leadership program. And then I'm going to throw in a bonus. It's a bonus access to my members only call. It's the first Tuesday of every month. And it's all of the people that are in any of my programs. You're going to be invited into that call where I do more training. We do sales training. We do leadership training. We do marketing. We do all the stuff about business. Every first Tuesday of the month, you're going to have access to that bonus access to a monthly call with me. And there's 2 other bonuses that I have here. You're going to get a infographic. It's basically just something that I created on a page. It's the 4 P's of a thriving business during uncertain times. So, and we can talk about all of this in our one-to-one, but you're going to get this in the package and you can see it. You can keep it in front of you. So when things go a little bit south in your business, there are 4 P's, words that starts with P, that I walk you through that will turn your business around and get you back on track. So we'll talk about that once you get it. And you're also going to get a signed copy of Freedom to Succeed when you get this program. Now, my team and I talked about it this morning, and we're going to have everything be mailed to you. Everything's going to be on paper. And so you're going to get a big envelope with everything that I just promised you. You're going to get the infographic for the FAP principle. You're going to get the 4 levels of value on a piece of paper that I'll show you when we walk through it. And then you're going to have the 5 actions of a leader on the Shift Your Leadership. You're going to get the 4 P's to a thriving business, and you're going to get a signed copy of my book. And you're also going to get a paper copy of the business assessment with all of the questions that we're going to go through, so that as we're coaching on the group call, you can actually take notes and rate yourself, and we'll work through it together. So it's not an online program. It's all on paper, and we will mail it to you when you sign up for the program. And the group calls, you can do it just the way you're doing it now. You can call in. You can, if you're on Zoom, and we can also do phone calls and Zoom as well. So for our Amish friends, if you don't want to be on Zoom call in on the number, and we'll give everything there as well. But you'll have everything on paper. I think that's kind of cool to kind of go back to the basics. All right. And so that's a 3-month business fast track program. And we have only 10 people per group. Okay. So we've got way over 10 people right now on these calls, way over. Wow. There's a lot of people on here. And so it's going to be a short-term program. And so it's $12,000. There is no payments. It's $12,000. That is the cheapest I have ever sold programs, except when I first started. Most of my programs I sell for $37,000, $57,000. I have one that's $75,000. And I want you to have this 3-month business fast track, because I believe business is the backbone that keeps this economy going. And I believe we have some of the finest business people in the world here in America, and I want to support them, and I want to support you. So get on the phone calls really quick and claim your spot for the $12,000 3-month business fast track. That's all. You get everything on paper, everything that I promised you, and you're going to get it, and we'll get your business on a fast track. And I hope to see you there. So that number to call is 813-580-8920. And get on the phone calls and make that happen. There's still people logging on right now. It's crazy. So sorry y'all missed everything, but we're just about finished. But the 3-month business fast track program, 3 months, we go through 60 systems and we help you to implement them into your business. And it's all for $12,000 plus all the bonuses. So get on the phone call and make that happen. And we'll see you soon. Thank you and God bless.